Hello, my name is Héloïse Riodel and I am the Senior Technical Specialist on Crisis Migration in the Labour Migration branch of the ILO. One of our key areas of work focuses on the access of refugees and other forcibly displaced persons to labour market and promoting decent working conditions for these populations. The number of people fleeing conflict, fragility or disaster is constantly increasing. The phenomenon is widespread across all continents, with forced displacement often lasting long periods, sometimes over decades. Displacement, whether internal or across international borders, is disruptive to people's employment and livelihood prospects. Situations of crisis can also influence migrant workers' experience, potentially increasing discriminatory treatment, at times leading to unwarranted job loss or expulsion, regardless of migrants' legal status. What are the factors that mediate the ability of forcibly displaced persons to access the labour market and decent work? First, the socio-economic conditions of the host countries are an important factor. Second, legislation and policies or their absence around the protection of displaced persons and the right to work are key. Third, discrimination and xenophobia, as well as practical issues and language barriers, can also limit their capacity to access decent jobs. Why are migrant and refugee workers susceptible to decent work deficit? Restrictions on access to the formal labour market in fragile settings push people towards low skills informal employment or under-regulated sectors, often characterized by precarious conditions. And so what is the ILO doing to improve working conditions for refugees and vulnerable migrants? In regards to refugees, in 2016, the ILO developed guiding principles on the access of refugees and other forcibly displaced persons to the labour market. The following year, the International Labour Conference adopted Recommendation 205. These policy instruments are referred to in the Global Compact on Refugees and have made access to decent work for refugees, other displaced populations and host communities a central pillar of intervention frameworks. To learn more, I invite you to take the module on forcibly displaced persons and migrants in crisis situations.